Hi, I'm Alexa. It's my real life. I'm glad you're here. Today, I am going to talk about technology and I'm going to talk about Mercury Retrograde, but do understand when I talk about it, I am at least 50% joking. So, for those who don't know what Mercury Retrograde is, it is when it looks like the planet Mercury is traveling backwards in our solar system from our vantage point. This happens 3 to 4 times a year, depending on when they occur, when the year is full, because Mercury goes around the sun faster than the Earth. So when it's going one way and then around the sun and then around, we're going to see it looking like it's going backwards. It is about to start, so it looks like Mercury is slowing down in our sky right now. And even though it's not slowing down, it's the vantage point of it's kind of either moving away or for towards or away from us, such that it looks like it's sort of positioned in the same spot in our sky. And I believe it goes retrograde for, I think it's the third time this year, but I think it was retrograde over Christmas. So it sort of started in 23 and went in. So it goes, I want to say it's like the fourth or the fifth, but don't quote me on that. I haven't looked at the dates. And then it will start looking like it's going backwards, then it'll slow down again, and then it'll look like it's moving forwards again. Astrology has historically talked about Mercury being the planet of communication. I want to say it's the Roman god Mercury. It's all about communication. So communication delays, misunderstandings, and in this more modern world, technology breaking, things going wrong. So you could sort of joke that the CrowdStrike, I think I said that right, issue from Friday that occurred during the what they call pre-shadow phase, which is when it looks like it's slowing down. Again, planet is not slowing down in the solar system. It's just because of our vantage point and where we are in relation to Mercury, the sun, etc. Well, I've had some technology issues, and every time I have really bad technology issues, I look up and see if Mercury's retrograde or about to turn retrograde, just because then I can sort of joke about it instead of getting frustrated. And sure enough, the CrowdStrike thing happened on Friday. It did not affect my personal things, but obviously when a bunch of coworkers are impacted, the world is impacted. There's stuff that the ramifications are it impacts the people around you that they have to pick up slack or whatever. So, but there's been a lot of stuff that has. Another thing with communication is you might forget something is due and then you realize, or something comes up last minute and like you have to rush to get something done, and like it just feels like there's so much that's like why all of a sudden. So unfortunately, that's what my past week or two have been like, is that there's been a lot of stuff I've had to rush to get done. There's a lot of stuff that has sort of come up last minute, or at least gotten to where I can work on it finally, in a sort of a last minute. I knew it was coming, but I wasn't able to work on it yet. And I recently bought an expensive item, electronic item. And even as I bought it, I was like, do you really want to do this? Is something going to be wrong with it? Well, it won't even turn on unless it's plugged in. Even at 100% battery, unless it's plugged in, it won't turn on. So that's going to have to be shipped back. It won't let me ask for a replacement. It's only saying I can refund me. And then this week, in the past week and a half, we've had power outages twice that lasted long enough that it reset the router. And I don't know if this happens to other people. I'm guessing it does. But when the router is out for long enough and it comes back on, even if you label the Wi-Fi the same name, use the same password, a bunch of Wi-Fi devices that, for example, Wi-Fi cameras, Wi-Fi computers, printers, any type of Wi-Fi, smart electronics, so LED I don't have them, but you can get like smart Wi-Fi lights, things like that. They don't connect to the Wi-Fi anymore. And I don't know entirely what it is. I think it's something to do with the IP address might end up being different because it's been disconnected from the network long enough. I don't know. There's a reason it happens that it isn't tied to the name of the Wi-Fi that you see when you go searching for one to log into. It's not tied to that, and it's not tied to the password. It's tied to this code on the back end. So we've had 2 of those in the past week and a half, and sure enough, I'm trying to print out the label to return this electronic item, and my printer is just the worst. And this has happened a few times since I bought it. I bought it, and I absolutely needed to print something. There was no way, like, I couldn't wait. I couldn't go to a library. I had to print it. There was only this one thing in the store. I was like, I don't want it. I don't like Wi-Fi printers. Whatever, I'll take it. I'll do it. I'll see. And I get stuck because now that I've bought it and it's mine, and like it works. When it works, it's fine. But I don't use it enough. So like the ink will dry out, or the Wi-Fi, like this issue with the power outage, it'll affect the Wi-Fi. Trying to get it to reset, to realize that it's still there. It just needs to, look at the Wi-Fi again. It's such a hassle, and I'm so frustrated by it. It makes me very, very annoyed. First world problems. I understand these are all first world problems. I understand that communication and miscommunication is a natural part of life, and it's almost like we psych ourselves out when one thing might not go the way we want it to be. We might start thinking, oh, what did I do? Why did I do that? Oh, I better not do that again. I better not make another mistake. It's the same. It's the same in like interpersonal communication. It's the same when you're doing a project, whatever it is. If you make a mistake and then you start focusing on the mistake, chances are really good you're going to make another mistake. And in the context of this conversation, I mean, I've just felt like I haven't been at my normal best in my personal conversations with people around me. I feel like I'm not saying the right thing for them to understand. And I don't know if that's because of me. I've definitely been really tired, and that makes it a little harder to deal with things. I think everyone has that, and I don't know if it's them. I know that other people have things going on as well. So I always feel a bit worried when there is any sort of miscommunication, and I want to make sure that it's smoothed out. And it feels like it takes that much more effort. But again, this isn't the end of the world. All it means is we have to take a nice deep breath, relax a little bit, let our shoulders release, take a moment, start again, make a joke, because jokes will help you cut any type of stress in our body. There's a physiological thing that goes along with humor and laughter and happiness that can cut through our stress. And that's why you do see a lot of people make, I believe they call it gallows humor, or like graveyard humor, stuff that might be a little inappropriate for some people when it's a really rough situation or a sad situation and humor comes up. It's a coping mechanism, and it's one that is actually physiologically can help us. So I definitely try to laugh. People around me know we call it Gatorade instead of Mercury Retrograde. And it's just a little humor, It's that reminder to myself, and I know other people also do this, but it's that reminder to myself that, hey, stuff happens. And even when we are doing our best, have the best intentions, things can go wrong, and it's okay. Things will eventually come back around again, just like Mercury is going to look like it's going direct and going forwards again in our sky. And that's what life is. It's sort of a journey. There are ups and downs. It's not straight. And this is where I've been this week. I definitely need humor, and I hope that if you are struggling, you're able to find humor too. And this really wasn't much about anything, but this is life. We all have stuff that makes things harder for us, and we all, if we come together, can get through it. And none of us are alone. So if you did make it this far, I want to thank you for being here. As always, drop a like, subscribe, maybe leave me a comment, and I will see everyone on Saturday. Had to think about that for a second. I was like, what day is it? Saturday will be my next video. Should be. As always, thank you, and be kind to yourself.